Okay, let's talk about the side hustle that made me over $40,000 in 2023 and how you guys can take advantage of it moving into 2024. Welcome to Juice Bets. My name is Trevor, and I genuinely think that this is the best side hustle in the world right now. I do think that it will continue into 2024, so you guys can still get access to this and, profit alongside myself and really dig deep into this industry to understand how much actual money is out there and how you can, add this to your daily routine and, put in an hour or even less per day and get access to this kind of money because it really, really is super lucrative. I got lots of tips and tricks and strategy that we can talk about here, and I'll break down exactly what this side hustle is. Before we do, make sure you do like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Without further ado, let's talk about it. So this side hustle that made me all this money in 2023 is plus EV, or positive expected value sports betting. Okay, so it is technically gambling on sports, but the thing is, and what makes this such a reliable, long-term, profitable strategy is we're relying on math. We're relying on data, specifically market data, right? So as we know, when you're betting on sports, there are tons of different sports books all around the world that you can use, right, to get access to these lines, to these bets. Now, the thing is, these sports books, they price things differently. Unlike the stock market, Tesla's being priced at $250 a share on all the different brokerages, whether you're using Robinhood or, your bank and you're investing that way, it's the same price. Whereas sports books, they're pricing these odds or these lines differently. And this opens up an opportunity where one sportsbook might be basically paying you much more than they should on the bet, right? And so as plus EV sports bettors, we're simply looking for a mathematical edge in the market, looking for a spot where one sportsbook is paying us just a little bit too much for a specific bet. And we're going to take that bet on that sportsbook, and we're basically going to do that, 20 to 50 times per day if we can, right? As much volume as possible will make us more money. And we're going to take those bets over time. And this is a profitable strategy over time because you're getting an edge in the market. Now, let's jump into my computer and I'll show you exactly how this works. Okay, here we go. I'm screen sharing and I am on Oddsjam, which is a great software for plus EV sports betting. I'll touch on them in a little bit here, but this is basically the software that I use to find these bets, right? Because searching onto many different sports books to find this edge, it makes things way too difficult. You need a software or an algorithm that will find you these in real time. That's exactly what Oddsjam does. So I'm going to make sure that, I'm using Oddsjam as much as I can into 2024 because this is a great product that definitely increases my volume and gives me access to tons of plus EV betting opportunities. So we're on Oddsjam and we found this betting opportunity because Oddsjam told us about it, right? They say here's a 6%, 6.59% play on Rashid Shaheed over, that's a great name, by the way, Rashid Shaheed, you love to see that, over 33.5 receiving yards, right? And it's telling us to take this on BetAno, which is a Canadian sports book. It doesn't really matter the sports book, but yeah, we're taking it at minus 108 on BetAno, okay? And if you're not familiar with, how the odds work, basically if it's minus, that means you have to bet $108 to win 100. If it's plus, like down here, plus 112, that means you bet 100 to win 112. So it's kind of flipped. Anything that's minus is a favorite, a plus is an underdog, okay? So Shaheed is minus 108, right? So very close to even money, basically, really close to it being a 50-50 toss-up on whether he's going to go over or under on BetAno, right? BetAno is pricing it at minus 108 to his over, right? And minus 114 to his under. However, if we look in the market, we've got DraftKings, a very sharp sports book, at minus 145 to his over, and Pinnacle, another sharp sports book, at minus 147 to his over, right? Even Caesars has it at minus 131. Bet99's got it at minus 135. What we can see here is that most sports books are saying that his over is quite favored, right? Because it's minus 135, minus 140, as opposed to minus 108, right? So the market's telling us his line should be priced at about minus 135, minus 140, around there. BetAno is pricing it they're basically paying you out much more than they should. You only have to bet $108 on BetAnno to win 100, whereas on Pinnacle, you got to bet 147 to win 100, right? So we're getting paid out much more than we should on BetAnno, and this is a mathematical edge. And there's different ways at understanding how much of an edge it is mathematically. What you do is you de-vig these odds, and that means you remove the tax that the sportsbook will place on these odds. We don't need to get into the exact specifics on how that works, but it's a mathematical formula that you can run and understand, okay, this bet, the sportsbook's pricing it at a certain line, we can actually confidently say that the odds should be, this number, right? And without the sportsbook's tax that they put on it. And so then we compare that number to the sportsbook that we're getting. It might be a little bit, a bit complicated for you if you're not necessarily familiar with this, but bottom line is Oddsjam and Plus EV sports betting allows you to find basically bets on sportsbooks that pay you more than you should. So first things first, to take advantage of this side hustle, you need to get accounts and deposit onto sportsbooks, right? And so basically what you want to do is you want to understand what sportsbooks are in your area. It depends on the state or the country you're in. I'm in Canada, so there might be some different sportsbooks on here that you won't have access to. You can just Google it. And we want to see what sportsbooks we can get access to because number one, the more sportsbooks you have, the more profit you can make because it opens up more opportunities to find these, mispriced lines. And you also get deposit bonuses, right? So for instance, on Sports Interaction here, we can get up to $1,000 in free bet credits by depositing on their platform, right? And that it's not just Sports Interaction. There's tons and tons of other sports books that you can deposit on, get matched up to like 100%, right? So you deposit $500, you get $500 from that sports book to gamble with, and you can utilize that starting out to really like bolster that bankroll that you're using, right? So you can take advantage of those bonuses and then use the Oddsjam Plus EV tool, which is what I was looking at before, to take advantage of those Plus EV opportunities. Now, that's just straight betting, right? So FanDuel, DraftKings, that kind of stuff, right? Now, the other interesting thing about the side hustle is there's many other ways. Now that you understand that there are ways to mathematically have an edge in the market, now it's about finding these edges in many different ways. Now, the next edge that, again, Oddsjam will help you find and take advantage of is DFS platform. So daily fantasy sports, these fixed payout parlay platforms. So Prize Picks, Underdog Parlay Play, Better Picks. There's tons of them. Now, I would always highly recommend starting with Prize Picks, Underdog, and Parlay Play. These are the most legit sports books. You can feel comfortable putting your money in there. And what makes it interesting about these platforms and where you can find the edge is that they have a fixed payout, right? So if, let's say, we take Jared Goff and Dak Prescott, both, let's say Goff over, or we'll use a different example here. We'll take, Josh Allen and Jared Goff over, both of them over, right? We're getting paid at a 3x payout. There's no odds, like FanDuel, right? So let's say we're looking at FanDuel. We'll go to the Lions-Cowboys game, and we see that, Jared Goff, his over 259.5 is minus 110, right? And there's odds attached to the over and the under. But on Prize Picks, there are no odds on his over or under, right? It's basically Prize Picks sets the line, you place it in a slip, and then they give you a fixed payout. So it's 3x regardless if we're taking over or under on a specific play, right? We just move it to Allen under, it's still a 3x. We move Goff to under, it's still a 3x. It doesn't matter. So what we do in Plus EV sports betting is we find legs to this parlay that are much more favored than their implied odds, right? And so when I say implied odds, I mean, you put these guys in a parlay. Let's say we get Justin Fields, Zappy, and we'll also put in Matthew Stafford. If we put these 5 guys into a parlay here, we're going to get a 10x payout, right? So we get 5 out of 5 correct. We're going to get a 10x payout. Again, it won't change based on if we're taking the over or the under. but we're getting paid 10x for 5 players. That means that each player in this parlay has an implied odds, right? Because we're getting paid 10x, so each player in there has odds attached to them to add up to a 10x payout, right? Just like if you were to parlay on a regular sports book, there are odds in there for each leg, and then it creates one big payout for that parlay. So for a 5-man play on Prize Picks, each play has minus 119 odds attached to them, right? So Goff going over, minus 119, going under, minus 119. Doesn't matter. But if we find, let's say we go back to Oddsjam, we find that on Prize Picks, if we were to put in this Derrick Jones Jr. play, well, we see that on other sports books, he's got 18.5 for his line, whereas Prize Picks has 17.5. So we find a mispriced line, right? Or let's say we're looking on Parlay Play for a play. It's again very similar to Prize Picks, just a different platform. We see that right here, or let's say this top one here, Walker and Harris, this combo under 113.5. Well, on DraftKings, that's minus 142. And on MGM, it's minus 142. Caesars even has it at minus 152. So that means that these two players on these other platforms, we should be getting paid minus 140, paid as if it's minus 142. But we're being paid out when it's in a parlay as if it's minus 117 on Parlay Play. And on Prize Picks, again, it's like minus 119, right? So we want to find these opportunities where on other sports books, you're being paid way less than you would be on Prize Picks, and they're much more favored on these other sports books. We put them into the slip on Prize Picks, and we get paid as if they are not as favored. We get paid much more, and you do that over and over again as an edge, right? An edge in this market, a mathematically profitable edge, and you're going to make money. So Oddsjam has this great fantasy optimizer, what I've been using here to understand what other sports books are pricing these lines at, so we can compare them to Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay Play, these fixed DFS platforms. So that's how you can make money plus EV sports betting on these parlay platforms, because no longer are we just putting players in there because we think they're going to go over or under. Now we're saying, well, this player on DraftKings is minus 140. I'm being paid as if he's minus 119. I'm being paid much more than I should be. This is profitable. You do that over and over again and you're going to make money. So all of this information could seem, pretty overwhelming. If you want more in-depth that really kind of slows it down and goes into exactly how this works, we have a really great playlist on this channel called New to Sports Betting Start Here. And it's a playlist of about 10, 15 videos or so. I think it's about an hour and a half long. You can watch it on 1.5 speed or whatever. And it goes through from the beginning, the basics, and it gets into exactly how this works, how you can, get access to these bets and understand how it's mathematically profitable in a much easier way than just one video. So feel free to check that out to get more info. But if you don't want to have to put in this effort and, go and pay for Oddsjam, which again, I highly recommend that you do that. And if you are interested in doing that, there's a link down below for a 7-day free trial and 35% off. But if you don't want to go out and find them yourself, you can definitely just get access to all of these bets and these plays in our VIP Discord server, because we have myself who sends all of my bets in here, and then we've also got 6 or 7 other sharp sports bettors in here that send all of their plus EV bets as well. And it's quite a special place. You can get access to tons and tons of plus EV opportunities without putting in any effort. We simply send you the slip and you place it yourself. What's also, really special is you can just copy this link, right? And then you head over to Prize Picks, paste it, and the slip will pop up for you, right? So you don't even have to go in there and select anything. It'll pop up for you. You enter how much you want to bet and you place the slip. So it makes things really easy for, for new bettors, for people who are too busy to put in that hour every day, using Oddsjam, searching for lines. Again, I do recommend that you do this because it helps you learn and become a better sports bettor, and you can do it yourself. But if you're too busy, if you're in school, whatever it may be, I highly recommend that you just join our Discord server. We'll send you the plays and you don't have to do anything, and you can get access to these plus EV opportunities. The final aspect to my plus EV side hustle is arbitrage betting. And this is a way to actually get risk-free returns every single day, because arbitrage betting is taking both sides of a bet on two different sports books, right? So you take the over on one sports book and the under on another because their odds are different. Let's look at an example, okay? Golden Knights and Kraken game, 6.5 is the total, and we can find basically an opportunity here where we make 3.4% on our money, which is actually quite good. So what we do is we see, power play basically is pricing the over 6.5. They're paying you out the highest in the market, right? Other sports books are paying you, plus 108, plus 110, plus 135. We're getting plus 135. Okay, so we take power play. If we're going to take the over, we're going to take power play, right? Now, what's special about this one, why it's an arbitrage, is that BetAno here is actually pricing the under. They're paying you out way more than they should be, because on these other sports books, we're getting minus 165, minus 150. We're getting minus 120 on BetAno, right? And for an arbitrage to work, simply the plus number just needs to be larger than the minus number, because we're getting plus more money than minus money, and we're gonna make the difference here. So let's use this calculator as an example. So we're taking the over at plus 138 on power play because they're paying us the most. Let's say we put $100 there. And then in order to get the same payout, right? Because we want to get paid out on both sports books the same amount so we can profit the difference in between. So plus 138, $100 bet, it gets us paid out at 238, right? And then what we want to do is we want to put down the amount that will give us the same payout on the other sports book. And this calculator tells us that's 129.82. So regardless of what happens, we're winning $238, right? If the over hits, we win $238. If the under hits, we win $238. Now, where we make our money is in the difference between our total stake, so what we've bet, so 100 plus 129.82 equals this, right? 229.82, and the total payout, which is 238, right? We're making 238 regardless, and we're staking 229.82. The difference between that is $8.18, and that is our profit. If we get these two bets placed correctly, like it's telling us here, we will make $8.18 for sure, 100%. You're making it because you're taking the over on one and the under on the other. You're going to make this money, right? So that's the power of arbitrage sports betting. And again, it's on Oddsjam. Oddsjam's plan allows you to get access to this calculator and to this tool here that will show you these opportunities, right? You can just scroll through. If you have access to this sports book, you're looking, okay, great, I've got access to these two sports books. Let's do this. Let's take the over on BetAno, the under on BetOnline. You can use a calculator. Let's say you want to put 200 here. Oh, that's a bit much. 200 here. It tells you how much to put there. You make $9. So that's what arbitrage sports betting is. It's kind of an easy way to make a little bit every single day. And that is definitely a great bonus that Oddsjam offers, is being able to use this arbitrage tool as well as the plus EV tool with your plus EV betting. So hopefully that didn't get too complicated, and I kind of, I'm trying to review this as easy as I can without getting into too much detail. But that's what plus EV sports betting is. That's how I used it in 2023, and that's how I made over $40,000. And this bet tracker here is a verified bet tracker. So this is connected to all my sports books, and it shows off exactly how much I've made. So I think that this is the best side hustle because of how easy it is, and how quick it can be, especially if you're in the VIP Discord server where we're sending you our bets. You have to do nothing. You just tail them. We have over 800 people in there paying monthly to get access to it, so it's clearly legitimate. And yeah, highly recommend that you check that out at least. There's a 3-day free trial link down below as well. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Always happy to answer those questions. You can drop them in the comments down below or DM me on Twitter, whatever you want to do. And yeah, hopefully 2024 continues to be an incredible year for Plus EV sports betting. And I hope that you join this train as well, because it is definitely providing tons of money every single day. Okay, we'll see you guys next time.